Hey, everybody. We've got episode 81 with a little bonus.
Yes, we do. Yep.
Schmitty.
Not your typical bi-weekly deal. We're going to go week, and then all of a sudden we're back here this week. So,
yeah.
Cool stuff.
Little episode 81 pre-AMS Big 20 bonus episode for you all.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Along with a bunch of other cool stuff like we always do, Schmitty.
Yep.
My name is Matthew, and I'm here with my good buddy, D. Schmitty.
Mm-hmm.
Presented by AMS Bowfishing and Megamouth Bowfishing.
And sponsored by Efficiency Bowfishing Lights by Outdoor Innovations USA and End Designs, Leatherworks, and Embroidery.
Nice.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yes.
Very nice. Well, Schmitty, it's been a busy week so far.
Just for everybody, and I'm on the phones a lot this time of year, doing customer service stuff, calling some people about orders and whatnot. And it is by far, I've been telling people that pretty much from May 1st, especially this year with the dates of our tournament being the 17th and 18th, or the 18th and 19th, excuse me. From May 1st to when this tournament is running is our busiest 3 weeks of the year.
Yeah.
We're out shooting fish because the fishing's good. We have to prep for our tournament, that is a whole nother monster getting ready for this tournament. Yeah. And it's when we're moving the most product because people are shooting fish all over the United States.
I love it, Schmitty.
These days have been busy. They've been wild, but I tell you what.
I love it.
May is flying by. What did it say, the 14th, 15th already? It's like, oh, my God.
Unreal.
Yeah, May 15th already today.
Jeepers, cats. And I see it's bright in here again. Schmitty has his amazing black shades on.
When the podcast goggles are on, you know that we are excited.
It's time.
And you know what, Matt? Let's talk about, once we get into what we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about these podcast goggles a little bit.
Right.
So,
yeah. But before we get into the Big 20, all that stuff, we're still going to do a bunch of our regular podcasting stuff here. So, Schmitty, you and I was out working in the shop on May 8th.
Yep.
And I was getting some stuff ready for the Big 20, getting the cow tags ready, the carp tags ready, and stuff like that.
Last week, Thursday, I think it was.
Yep. Actually, I'm going to back up a little bit before that because a couple hours before that, you were like, Matt, I'm getting a bunch of snaps.
Yeah.
Stuff is going on on the water.
Yep. We had news from one of our good friends down there, Adam Taboyek was down there, and he was sending us all kinds of pictures. He shot a 50-pounder, and then they had to, I believe if I recall the story correctly, they had to lend another boat a scale so that they could weigh a 70-pound buff. Yeah. And he was sending me pictures of the boat, and just he did one of those pans like this. He wasn't even shooting. He just did this across the bay, and there were fish spawning everywhere. Yeah. It just was kind of like one of those like, God damn it.
And that was like at 10 o'clock in the morning.
It was early. Yes, it was.
Yep. So Schmitty's sitting there just biting his nails.
Yeah.
All day long, just biting his nails. Lunchtime, he's in there showing me snaps again that he's getting sent to him and stuff. And he's getting all worked up and everything. And I'm back in the shop working. And like I said, and all of a sudden, like at 1:30.
Yeah, 1:30, 2 o'clock.
Old D. Schmitty comes back there and he taps me on my shoulder. He goes, come on, we're going. He couldn't take it anymore.
we had some product that we wanted to do some testing on. The filming opportunity was there. The time of year was right. Yeah. It all lined up. We had to bounce and get out on the water.
Yep.
So,
but by the time we got all the stuff ready, all geared up, all the camera stuff, hook up to the truck, fill everything up, get down there. We didn't get down there until 4:30 in the afternoon.
I was gonna say that's probably when we hit the water. Got in the water down there.
Beautiful day.
Oh, it was
a gorgeous day.
Yeah. Yep.
We went to one of our spots where we're shooting earlier with Tim Wells,
and it was very good with Tim. It was a cool spot up there.
Yep, and there was no buffs spawning. They were cruising out in deeper water,
but not the number that there was when Tim was there. There was a few here and there though. Yeah,
but there was no pushing along the wood, along the banks, along the grass.
Right,
there was no pushing in that area where we had seen him with Tim just a couple days before that.
Right. And in prior years up in this given area, they will spawn up there. And you can kind of get a distance away and go, all right, we got a heck of a little line in front of us here because they're spawning big time.
Yep. One of the reasons that I like that spot so much, Derek, is because it's sandy.
Yes. Yep.
It's not clear muddy water, like usually other areas out there.
Yep.
And it's clear, and you can see them tanks come rolling down the banks and stuff like that there.
Yep.
But then we moved on to another location, shot a couple, but geez, they just weren't.
They weren't going like they were in the videos that we were getting earlier.
Right.
You know.
So then we went and checked out another area, and there was nothing there at all.
No.
Nothing there at all. So then, and this is something to remember. So what I did is I just went about 20 miles an hour, Schmitty, and just cruised.
Oh, yeah.
200 yards from the shore.
Yep.
And we were just watching.
Yep.
And all of a sudden you go, there they are. I just saw pushing. You see it right up there.
We zip over.
We zip over there, and here they're pushing and stuff and spawning and stuff. And little spots here and there. We shot some fish there.
Yep. We did that for a while. We'd shoot. We'd get a pod or two. We'd shoot a fish out of those pods. Go back out. Run a little bit. Looking. Oh, right over there. Go up there and we were kind of what's the word? We're like sharpshooting pods. Yeah. As we go along to find them to go and shoot those fish.
It was kind of a neat thing.
It was cool.
It was kind of cool to like I said, we're cruising at 20 miles an hour, just staring at the banks.
Yep.
And all of a sudden you're like, right there. You're pointing right up there, and I can see water. They're splashing.
Yep.
So that was kind of cool.
Yep.
So then we shot them like that for an hour or so like that there. And then it's starting to get a little bit later in the afternoon now.
That sun angle was getting tough.
Sun angle was getting very tough. So we went into this other bay here, Schmitty, and way in the back, there was nothing at the mouth of it hardly at all when we got there. Yep. But way in the back, we could see those pushes.
Yep.
You could see that wake,
in very dirty, muddy water.
Yes.
It was your typical dirty cattail, muddied up water, hard to see, but there were fish back there.
Yes. Yep. And I shot a fish. You filmed me shooting a fish, and I jumped up on the tower and was going to film you, and that angle was just getting worse.
Yeah.
And they were spawning there, but they'd come up for a split couple seconds and then disappear back down to that muddy water.
If you weren't looking in the exact location where they would break water, and if you didn't shoot them while they were breaking water or an inch below, they were gone. Right. Which that happens when they're spawning. They muddy that water up, and it was so frustrating because we were pretty much surrounded by fish, and we could not get a shot off at a fish. It was tough.
Yep. So then I'm like, let's just get out of here.
Yep.
So we start heading out, and this is when the action really picked up.
Yeah.
This was a really neat deal.
It was a day saver, really.
Yeah.
It kind of made our day down there.
Right.
Yeah.
So as we're coming out, the main shoreline cuts hard and comes back into the mouth of this bay.
Mm-hmm.
And what we couldn't see from when we were back in the bay were buff spawning on the main lake shoreline out there.
Yep, off the point coming in.
Right. So we got up there, and I'm looking, I'm like, oh, Schmitty, here's a bunch pushing right up here in this shallow water. We can cut these fish off.
Yep.
Because of the location, how it bent back into this little cove.
Right.
We can cut these fish off. So we went in there, and they were pushing and spawning, and wham, we shot one, and we're like, oh, cool, and holding it for the camera and whatever. And reloaded. And I said, here comes more. They were coming around that point.
Yes. Yep.
And I said, here comes another one, Schmitty. And I drew back the old Ringo.
Oh. Stone cold, baby.
Stoned him.
I actually, from a filming perspective, when you shot me,
it was no fun.
I'm like, oh, he missed it. Dang it. That was a good fish.
It was just stoned him. The fish didn't twitch hardly at all.
Yeah. I'm sitting there looking through the viewfinder, and all of a sudden you shoot, and I'm like, oh, he missed. But then you turn around and give me the old, I'm like, oh, he must have hit that fish. Yeah, and that was a solid fish.
That was probably our biggest fish of that day. And I had that fish alongside the boat.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, Schmitty, I said, here comes more. I said, grab your bow.
Yep.
So you jumped up there. Wham. You shoot one.
Yep.
So I have my fish on the arrow. Your fish is on the arrow.
I've got a bow in one hand, a very expensive camera in the other hand, hitting record. We got both fish on, filming that whole deal.
Yep. But then you remember what was happening underwater?
Yep. And I don't know, we actually had the fish you shot was the female out of your pod. The fish I shot was the female out of my pod. Mine was smaller than yours was. And Matt, we had fish come right alongside of the boat. Right next to these fish, and they were in their own separate pod. There was 3 fish in a pod.
And those were males looking for females. Yeah. But you know what's cool about that, Schmitty, is that the tail fish in that group
That's so weird.
Was a common carp.
Yes, that was so strange.
Swimming and they were looking for those females, and of course we had them on the arrow shafts right alongside the boat.
Yeah.
They came up, they hit those fish, and they swam out, and then they turned around and came back in and hit them again, and then we lifted the fish in the boat and stuff.
Yeah.
But for the next 40 minutes, I filmed you. You just got out of the boat, and you went and stayed on that point.
Yep.
And the fish just kept rolling around that point.
Yeah, the fish were rolling around that point, and we didn't want to put the boat up there because we would be
we didn't want to block.
We didn't want to
passage.
block their
Right.
travel route in.
Right.
You know,
exactly.
And that point was somewhat clear as well. That rock point down there. So, like you said, I jumped out and I went up on those rocks. You stayed in the boat, what, 10, 15 yards behind?
Yeah. Yep.
And you had the camera out, and that turned into a very neat little deal.
Right.
Fish just kept pouring around that corner, making their way from the main lake into that bay to spawn.
Yep.
And it's like we were picking them off before they were able to get back into that dirty water.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a neat setup. So just remember that those are great places to look for fish. If back in the bays, there's fish back there, but it's really dirty, it's turbulent, you can't see nothing except for when they break surface and they're back down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe go out and check those points where those fish are coming into those bays. The water's a little more clear. Like I said, I wonder what it would have been like if we would have been there at noon.
Oh, I know, because that's what we kept saying. We're like, we're 3 hours late.
Yes,
we're 4 hours late here. What would it have been like, especially at that spot?
Exactly.
Oh my God, it would have been nuts. Would have been nuts. But just a little side note with that, Matt. As we were back in that bay in that muddy water, and it was muddy, and the sun angle was tough. You were up on the filming platform, and I was down on the deck. We were rotating. You'd shoot a fish on camera, I'd shoot a fish on camera, and then we'd go back and forth. And it was getting later in the day, and it was my turn to shoot.
Yeah.
So I'm up, manning the trolling motor, going slowly, trying to shoot these fish. And Matt, you kept pointing fish out. You kept going, 1 o'clock right there. And I'd look over, sun was in my eyes. I couldn't see. I had my polarized glasses on.
Yep.
And I couldn't see these fish.
Right.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. I couldn't see them. Here, 3 minutes later. 3 o'clock, Derek. Right over here. Right there. And I'm looking and I'm like, I can't see these fish at all. Well, we made our way up to that point that we were just talking about. And you said, here, try my sunglasses on.
Yeah.
Try these on.
Yep.
And I have a pair of one-lensed black lens Blender's polarized sunglasses on. Right. You have a pair of Vicious Vision is the glasses.
They went out of business, but those to me were my best glasses ever. I had that pair, and if I lose them, I'm like, dang.
Because Matt always has these crazy yellow sunglasses on, and he looks goofy in the pictures because you can see his eyeballs
exactly
through his sunglasses. And he goes, here, just try these. Guys, I'm not lying to you. I took my black lens polarized glasses off and put on Matt's yellow lens glasses. It was like I was looking into a whole new world. I don't know if my lenses on my black ones is too dark, so that sun angle being low really cut my visibility. But you put mine on, and you were like, how the hell can you see anything?
Literally, when I put your glasses on, I felt like time traveled 35 minutes.
Darker. Later into the day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
It was really dark, and I couldn't see the bottom.
Yeah.
Now yours might be really good during
when it's noon out,
shining right straight down on you or something, from 10 to 3 or whatever. But on those Vicious Visions, I got those probably 3-4 years ago.
Okay.
From Tim Wells.
Yep.
And actually now I've been wearing them on all my outings. My nose pieces that keeps the sunglasses off your nose, those have broken and are gone. So that they just sit on my nose, and when I'm sweating or it's hot out, they fog up and stuff. But I can't lose them.
No, you can't. After putting those on, I'm like, I need to find myself a pair of yellow lens.
I always have light brown or the bronze,
and
yellowish.
I think they're
polarized glasses.
Just from doing a quick search, I think that lens color is called amber.
That's
the color palette
right.
because I saw a bunch of them. I couldn't find yellow, but everyone had that amber color.
Yep. That's always been my favorite color ever since day one. I was never a fan of dark, polarized glasses.
Yeah.
But man, I tell you what, if I lose those Vicious Visions, I'm gonna be crying.
Yeah. I don't blame you. But we went up on that point and we had a blast. I shot a bunch of fish off that point. Matt laid down some awesome footage. And that was kind of a day saver, really.
It was.
We probably shot 10 or 12 fish up there. And I'm going to tell you this right now because it happened way too many times for it to not be something, okay? You probably think that I'm crazy.
I'm wondering what you're going to say.
I'm sitting up on that point, and what we did is when I would shoot a fish, there was a bunch of rocks behind me. I would take those fish off in the rocks and leave them in the rocks. Of course, we went back when we were done and picked them up and put them in the boat.
Yeah.
But while I'm shooting, I would shoot a fish, we'd film it, I'd turn around to the camera, do whatever little deal, and then I would turn around, turn my QT, fish comes off, lay it in the rocks.
Yep.
Okay, fish would just be laying there. They'd initially flop a little bit and then not much.
They were like in a little rock.
They're like in a little canal kind of surrounded by rocks.
Yeah, you couldn't get out. Right.
So I'm sitting there, and then I'd get up on that point, and I'd have to wait 2-3 minutes for another fish to come through.
Oh, that's a long time.
Oh, it was terrible.
Oh, my goodness.
So I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, from behind me, one of those fish, flop, 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 flop. Here comes a fish around the corner. Here comes a fish around the point. Shoot that fish. I'm like, wow, that's interesting. That fish just flopped right before that fish came through here.
Yep.
So I brought that fish in, did the whole deal, put it behind me. 2 minutes later. Flop, 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 flop. Oh, there they go again. Here's another fish. What the? I swear to God that those fish could sense that there were fish coming in. I don't know if it's the spawning pheromone that they could sense of those fish coming in.
That's what it is.
It literally, it happened almost every time to a point where I kept turning to you. I'm like, these fish know. These fish know when fish are coming around this point.
Right.
It was just very interesting to see that. And then, of course, we were doubled up on those two, and then those other spawning fish came in. I'm like, oh, yeah, this is a community event.
Absolutely.
Here. So that was kind of a neat little learning lesson right there.
Yep. Pretty neat little deal. But we had a great time. We went out, then that night it got dark out. We went back out, went to a different bay. They were spawning in that spot, but same thing. It was just so, we get some pretty cool shots back in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But on some buffs and stuff, and they were back in there spawning.
Yep.
But we left there and went to a different lake, and the wind just picked up just crazy.
Yeah, it got weird all of a sudden. Yeah.
And it got really windy. We shot a couple commas there, but decided to head back home at midnight and got home at, I don't know, I think I went to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it was about 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yep. And just a little side note on that, Matt, that point that we've just been talking about for this entire time frame here. We went back to that point when it was dark out. And why don't you tell everyone what was there when we went back?
The point
where I was standing on those rocks, shooting all those fish. We went back there when it got dark out.
Yeah.
There wasn't a damn fish in sight.
Oh, yes,
they completely were, because we're like, oh, what would this be like at night? Could we just sit here and pile the fish up here?
Nope.
Gone.
Yep,
nothing going on there.
I thought you were talking about the boats that were back in there. The bowfishing boats that were back in the bay.
No, there were boats back in there, but that point had no fish on it after that sun went down. So
nope.
Yeah. Well, we'll move on here, Matt.
So one thing that I wanted to do a year in review on the aqua traction.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Because we've had it in the boat now just not quite a year.
Yep.
It was right around June is when we had it put on there. So it's not quite a year, but one thing that we always do when we're filming is, of course, we always stand up on the deck and hold the fish to the camera and all that stuff versus just grabbing it and throwing it in the barrel and going back to work, shooting fish. So our decking gets really dirty, especially this time of year. Yeah. Eggs spawn and stuff like that is dropping on there and everything. I just wanted to give a quick little year in review on the aqua traction of what I think how the performance has been so far. Very easy to clean the next day. I love that. The slime and the grit from standing in spots, and smearing, that stuff all over the deck, cleans it very nice. No fading at all.
Yeah, that's impressive.
On the padding at all from the sun. Yep. Which I noticed in the past, and some of the other products that we had on there, it was fading and stuff and peeling and stuff. No peeling whatsoever.
That's big.
And we have diamond plate down underneath there. Yep. It's not. We didn't grind it off or nothing because I asked them, can we put this on diamond plate without it peeling up?
Yep.
And they said, absolutely, it'll stick to that. No peeling up whatsoever. Even with that pressure washer, me going along the sides of it, getting it off the sides of the boat and stuff. She's
sticking.
No peeling at all.
Yeah.
Great color. The padding still feels great. We don't have extra padding underneath there. We just have the aqua traction itself.
Yep.
Love it. It's got great padding. It's quiet.
Yes, it is. That's a big one.
I like that.
Yeah.
Especially when we're down shooting big heads.
Yep.
I like it because even at the top of the light rail, we have padding on there, aqua traction, and it's quiet. But so far, I'm very impressed with the aqua traction that we have in the boat with our logos up there, the color, the patterns.
Yeah.
So if you are in the market for a good padding for your boat, make sure to check out Aqua Traction. They have tons of different colors to choose from.
Yep. Different textures and patterns.
Different patterns. You can put logos wherever you want them.
Yeah.
Really neat deal. So, like I said, if you're in the market, I'm impressed so far with how it is looking.
Yeah.
I like it for ease of cleaning and everything like that there. So check them out, Aqua Traction.
Yeah.
I'm impressed with them so far.
Absolutely. That's very cool. And I think, too, with what we had on there before Aqua Traction, Matt, one thing that I would always notice when that foam padding was sitting in the sun, it would bubble. You get a bubble of it, and it would go away when the sun wasn't up, but you'd always get those bubbles, and then that adhesive is being lifted up and then down and then up and then down and up and then down, and pretty soon it fades away. I have not noticed that at all.
There's none of that.
Yep. So Aqua Traction's doing a fantastic job so far.
Yep, very nice, very nice.
So our next topic here, Matt, we've got a little bit of cleanup
Yes, we do.
We've got to do from our Q&A
Yes.
podcast
Yes.
that we had. So I've got a couple questions here that we're going to ask. The first one here is from Christopher James, Efficiency Lights here. Very cool. He has a very good question. His question is...
I'm getting hungry already.
He's asking, how many of them moon pies does Matt eat on an average bow fishing outing?
Oh, boy, I'm getting hungry.
Banana-rama moon pie.
Oh, Nelly. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, boy.
So the moon pies are more of a out-of-state tradition for us.
Yeah.
Not so much in-state, but out-of-state.
Yep.
We'll always go down to Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, get down to that area there, and we'll stop and get us some moon pies.
Yep. A lot of times we stop at the old Cracker Barrel.
That's
where they got them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And we'll get some of those and put them in our boat. And, of course, it's always tradition to shoot a fish and have the moon pies readily available.
Yes. Yes.
So I can share one along with the fish.
Very, very considerate of you.
Yes. I like to have, we had the Big Head vending moon pie.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
In Kentucky.
Yep.
We had the grassy Bananarama moon pie.
Yep.
We had the Missouri flock carp that we're feeding in a frenzy at that.
Oh, that's right. Yes, you're tossing them moon pies.
Oh my gosh, they absolutely love the moon pies.
Yep, they love the moon pie.
I need a moon pie sticker for the boat.
We do need a moon pie sticker.
Yes.
Heck, we need a moon pie sponsorship. I know last year we were throwing moon pies out at the Big 20. We got to get a hold of.
Oh, that's right.
We got to get a hold of Moon Pie and have them send us a couple hundred moon pies.
We were throwing those little minis last year. Yeah.
Yep.
And then when the boats were all taken off, I had people throwing them back at me.
Oh, wow. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I will say, I think the best way to have a moon pie is to put it in the microwave for like 10 seconds.
Oh, that just melt it up.
It makes it so much softer and just delicious.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And if you look at I believe it's up there. If you go on the AMS website, the Bowfishing Buzz banner that you can click on to listen to our episodes, it's a serious picture of me drawing back a hooligan with a TNT, and I've got a stone-faced killer look on my face. Then it's a picture of you half-eating a moon pie, holding a grassy. You've got eggs and blood all over your hand, and you're just smiling.
That's the best way to eat it. Your hand cannot be clean when you're eating a moon pie.
No, you got to add some protein.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You got to put a little juice on there.
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
So the moon pies are kind of an out-of-state little tradition. I don't think we ever get into too much here in the state of Wisconsin.
No.
But it's a tradition out-of-state that we always make sure to grab a box of moon pies and have it in the boat.
Yeah.
Even though bananas are a terrible luck to have.
Yes.
You never want to put banana in your boat.
No, that's
bad luck.
That's a long time thing.
Yes.
That's a bad thing to have.
But I got to take my banana moon pies in the boat whenever.
And we busted that myth. We shoot fish with banana moon
but maybe
pies
it's a banana moon pie, not a banana. So maybe there's a difference there.
That could be the deal.
Yeah.
Yep. So, all right. Next question here is from Jeff Nebel. Wow, look at these sponsors. We got these sponsors asking us questions.
Funny. I never thought about
Efficiency Lights and Designs, obviously. Yeah. Jeff Nebel here. This is more of a question for you, I think, Matt. I might chime in a little bit here, but Jeff is asking, what fish have you not shot? Bucket list fish? ?
Yeah, I would like to shoot snakehead.
Snakehead. Okay, I got you.
Yes, I would like to get out and shoot some snakehead. Because that's another state that I probably could check off and get out there and shoot some snakehead. And I'm really curious. I really want to take some of the meat and flay those and take some of the meat and bring them home and deep fry those.
Yeah, see how they taste.
Say they're great.
Yeah.
They say they're great. So I would like to get a snakehead would be my next on my bucket list to go after. I think that's one of mine. Do you have a bucket list? Oh gosh, we don't even have to ask you this question.
What? I don't know. Let me think about a goldfish. Yeah, I think a goldfish would be cool.
I knew that was your answer there.
Actually, on the snakehead thing there, Matt, we actually just got tagged. I forget who tagged us on Instagram for Megamouth. Here they shot a snakehead, and that snakehead had a humongous fishing hook sticking out of its mouth.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just a big old hook sticking out of there. No line on it. Must have broke the line off on a fisherman or something, but it was kind of cool. They shot a snakehead with a big old hook on there. So
speaking of a hook on a mouth of a fish, that couple years back, a team came in with a big old Rapala.
Oh, that's right.
I think it was on a drum.
Okay, yeah. Yep.
And a big old Rapala stuck in his mouth right there. Yep. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty neat. That's pretty neat.
Yep.
Last question here from Casey Lee, Matt.
Yeah.
He's asking, when prepping your gear, aside from your typical stuff, bows, arrows, reels, do you have any superstitions that you stick to? Maybe a lucky charm or a must-have that's kind of y'all's thing that you got to have with you?
Okay.
Oh, boy.
I have never said this to anybody.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And this is, I probably shouldn't even be saying it now.
Oh, boy.
Because it is my superstition.
Okay.
I talk to my boat.
You talk to your boat?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Let's hear an example here.
For example,
I don't ever hear you talk to the boat.
I don't talk out loud to it.
Oh. Okay. All right.
For example, I'm shooting a tournament.
Okay.
Or I'm traveling to go shoot in a big tournament years ago. I would sit there and I just kind of like put my arm on the side of the boat or on a deck or wherever it was, and I would just say, all right, man, take care of us tonight. Keep us safe on the water. Haul us around. Bring those fish back with us. Don't break down on us. Don't break the trailer, bearings. I just talked to keep us safe on the water.
It's really? Okay.
And I'll do that even now on some trips around, when we go on trips, I'll just say,
And you've been doing that for how long, would you say?
Years.
Really?
Yeah,
okay. Well, that's kind of neat. Yeah.
Yep. And then when I'm done, when I get back home, I wash it and I back it back into the garage. Once again, I'll talk to it and say, thank you for getting us on the water safe and hauling our fish around and keeping everyone on the boat safe.
Sure.
And no mechanical issues.
Yep.
And as I back into the garage, I just thank you and see you on the next trip.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
okay. I did not know that. That's very interesting.
I've never told anybody that.
Huh. Okay. All right.
But
well, there you go,
I talk to
Casey.
the boat.
Matt,
I
you
talk
just
to
got
the
to
boat.
talk to the boat a little bit.
Talk
Give it
to
a
the
little bit of
boat.
sweet talk.
That's right.
So let me ask you this, Matt. When the boat does have problems, what are you telling the boat then?
Little swear words.
Oh, some special words.
Like, come on.
Listen up. Come on. I've done nothing. I wash you all the time. I keep you full of gas. And now you're going to break down on me? Huh? Oh, all right. Matt talks to the boat. That's...
Knock on wood, I've never had to get pulled back in anywhere or nothing like that.
That's, I mean, for how long you've been doing that, for how many trips you've been on, that's actually...
I pulled a few
crazy.
boats back in my time.
Sure.
Yep, on the water.
But you've never been the boat that's had to be pulled.
No.
Yeah.
No.
That's because you talked to her.
I talked to her.
She knows that you love her.
I used to do that with the old F&F boat that we had years ago.
Really? Okay.
I did that with the Aquaca. I'm doing it with the John custom bowfishing boat that we have now.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I talked to her.
Nice.
That's one of my superstitions that I probably never told anybody.
Yeah. Well, now we know. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Can you feel the tension in the air right now?
It's time for BAA Records.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. I love reading off these records here, Matt. It just kind of keeps everybody in the loop, you know? So our first record here is by Easton Bourgeois Burgess. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that. We know Easton very well.
Yeah, and I think we just read one of his dad's records on the last podcast.
Yes. And
he had some from last year too.
Yeah, I don't remember. I'm going to, of course, call this back into play here. I don't remember if it was like Halloween or if it was like dress up like your role model day, but Easton dressed up like Matthew Schillinger, which is just amazing. That's just amazing. It's just awesome. But congratulations to Easton on his BAA Michigan State Youth Record Common Carp weighing 28.6 pounds and his BAA Michigan State Record Bowfin weighing 6.8 pounds. Nice shooting.
Awesome job, Easton.
Yeah, very cool.
Way to go.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Nice shooting.
I think he actually had the youth common record that I'm guessing that he broke his own record.
Wow.
'Cause I think we read his last year.
What a bullfisher that is. He breaks a record, and the record he broke was his own.
Right. Very cool.
That's pretty cool.
Very cool. Cameron Wilson on his BAA Oklahoma State Youth Record Big Mouth Buffalo weighing 30.17 pounds.
Nice. Congrats to Bryson Phillips on his BAA Alabama State Record and Youth Record Brown Bullhead weighing 2.2 pounds. Nice shooting to Bryson.
Moving on, we've got Donald Walker on his BAA Ohio State Record Butterfly Carp weighing 16.40 pounds.
Nice. That's very cool. Nice shooting Donald there.
Yes.
Congrats to Hunter Neely on his BAA South Carolina State Record Koi weighing 19.6 pounds. Nice shooting Hunter.
Wow.
Very cool.
Great job to all the new BAA record holders out there.
Absolutely.
Actually, that Hunter Neely's Koi was a complete gold carp.
Oh my gosh, really?
just like the one that Brandon Cole
shot last week
when we were down on looking for bus back in that bay right there. He lifted that fish up out of the barrel. Identical to that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, what a cool fish.
It
what
was.
a cool fish. That's awesome. Yeah. So I tell you what, Matt, we're going to continue the podcast here, but first we're going to get these commercials from our sponsors here. Are you looking to elevate your bow fishing brand with stunning design solutions? Look no further than N Designs. Their team of talented designers is dedicated to bringing your vision to life. Whether it's t-shirts, hats, leather products, eye-catching logos, to captivating boat wraps, they have you covered. Plus, with their commitment to excellence and attention to detail, you can trust that your project is in good hands. Don't settle for ordinary. Choose N Designs for extraordinary results. Visit their website today and let's bring your ideas to life. N Designs, where creativity meets excellence. Efficiency Bowfishing Lights by Outdoor Innovations USA. A color tone adjustable and dimmable light with a unique patented reflector design that puts more light where you need it. Efficiency Bowfishing Lights offer 3 different models: the 65-watt single color economy light, the 65-watt Efficiency V2 tricolor dimmable light for maximum efficiency and versatility, and the 130-watt Efficiency Maximus, designed to be an all-out beast of a bowfishing light. Efficiency, designed and built by bowfishermen for bowfishermen. Check them out at OutdoorInnovationsUSA.com.
And welcome back to the Bowfishing Buzz, episode 81, AMS Big 20 special. And now it's time to get into the meat and potatoes.
The main event here
of the old podcast here. Pre-tournament goodies.
Information, news, all kinds of good stuff here. So, yeah, let's dive in here, Matt.
I'll tell you what, Schmitty, weather. Weather's always a big key factor.
That can make or break you, honestly.
Tournament-wise. I'm telling you, Monday it was in the 70s. Tuesdays was in the 70s. Today is in the 70s. 3 great days for scouting to go find your fish, find out where you might want to go to ambush some of those big old fish. Thursday, they are talking for rain pretty much all day, 70% chance on that for scattered thunderstorms. Temps are going to cool down a little bit in the middle 60s on Thursday.
Yeah.
But then Friday, highs right back up into the middle 70s, partly cloudy with a 10% chance of rain.
Yeah.
So great weather this whole week for scouting-wise.
Yeah.
You can't complain about that.
No.
You know, this time of year, you can always have colder weather. The temperatures are dipping down a little bit in the evenings.
They are, yeah. They're getting, 40, low 40s. You're kind of seeing that as far as the low temps here. But, yeah, it's...
But from what I'm hearing, people are on some good fish.
Yeah.
People are on some good fish.
Yep.
Now it comes to tournament day. There is a 40% chance of scattered thunderstorms on Saturday, but the temps are topping out into the 80s.
Oh my gosh! Really,
it's Saturday.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Beautiful day. Beautiful day. And I did see those thunderstorms look like they could be hit or miss.
Yes, it's scattered. It had like a 40% chance, so it's not huge, tremendous.
Yep.
So those could be pop-ups here and there. It might be raining in one area and nothing in the area, another area. You know, so you just have to watch that on your weather apps on tournament day. And then Sundays, highs back into the 70s for weigh-in day.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I know we were checking earlier in the week, Matt, and we were a little bit worried about Sunday and even Saturday just with some rain possibilities. But it seems like as the week goes on, those percentages are getting less and less.
Right.
So hopefully that continues like that. And come tomorrow, Friday, we're looking at the weather going, all right, I think we're going to be totally in the clear.
Yep.
So
hopefully. Right. And from what I've been hearing, teams are finding some good fish. There is some spawning action going on, so I see that continuing all the way through this weekend. So cannot wait for Saturday.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I can't wait just to see everybody, talk to everybody, and see how everybody's doing. It's going to be a blast.
Right. So Schmitty, if a team knows that they're going to be shooting in the Big 20, and they are not pre-registered yet, why should they pre-register right now?
Well, you guys should definitely pre-register if you know that you're coming, because pre-registration will be open until May 18th at 10 a.m.
Right.
It's $300 right now to pre-register.
Yes.
If you register on site, that bumps up to $400.
Exactly.
That's a $100 difference. If you know you're coming, pre-registration is open until 10 o'clock on the 18th, like we just said. Pre-register.
Yes.
That'll be awesome for you guys. It'll help expedite your check-in process. It'll be easier for us, and we can just kind of get things flowing a little bit nicer. So make sure to pre-register.
Save yourself that $100 for gas.
Yeah.
Or for food.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep, absolutely.
And of course, we're going to be having the here at the shop, we're going to be having the AMS shop. They're going to be selling a ton of stuff at discounted prices.
Yes.
It was huge last year. I mean, Cindy and Steph were busy, man. Yeah. They were running around like crazy.
Yep.
And that's what's so cool about having the tournament here at the AMS facility.
It is so cool.
It is so neat.
You know, and just from the shop point of view, we'll also have all the Megamouth, anything Megamouth that you need.
Right.
Reels, arrows, parts, whatever you need, we got it here available for purchase. And just something that I was thinking about this week, Matt. You and I were coming back from like a 2-week bowfishing trip here. It must have been last year, 2 years ago. Is this our third year having it at the shop or our second year?
This will be our third year.
This will be our third year. That's what I thought. So I think it was 2022. You and I were coming back from we went down to Kentucky and then we went down to Missouri.
Yes.
We were all over the place for the Bass Pro US Open, did some filming. And on our way back, you're like, you know what? Let's go check out the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
Where we usually had it over here in Marshfield. And it was completely dug up. Yeah. We could not have a tournament there, and the tournament was in like 2 weeks.
And they didn't tell us about
They didn't tell us about that. That was a really bad aspect of that. And so we are scrambling to get this thing ready. We're like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? We're going to have it, on site here at the shop. That was almost like a blessing in disguise.
It was. Yeah.
Because it has gone so smoothly. I know Marshfield's only 10, 15 minutes away down to the fairgrounds, but we had to haul all kinds of stuff, so many trips back and forth to get stuff down there. We've got it all here. We've got all our product here. Everything is nicely laid out with the parking and weigh-in and everything.
The long streets here in the industrial park. Yes. It's just awesome.
It's almost like wow, that was like meant to happen.
Yeah.
That's a good thing that did happen. Otherwise, we'd probably be still having it in Marshfield.
Right.
Last
year, in fact, Schmitty, had 87 teams last year in the tournament.
Yes.
They were all out of the industrial park in 9 minutes.
Yeah, 9 minutes, 87 boats, 87 big rigs gone in under 10 minutes.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. You know what else is cool, Matt, is our insane list of sponsors.
We got some great sponsors
that are giving us some awesome donations for the 2024 AMS Big 20.
Right.
I'm just going to read off a couple of our sponsors here, Matt. We obviously have AMS Bowfishing and Megamouth Bowfishing. Mm-hmm. We've got Matthews Archery, Oneida Eagle Bows, Bass Pro Shops. The Average Joe winner is going to get a trip from Corey Brossman to go out there. Efficiency Bowfishing Lights by Outdoor Innovations USA. End Designs, Vader Bowfishing, Umarex, Brossman Boys Bowfishing, Interlock Broadheads, Powertran, Muddy Flats, Outrigger Outdoors. Dennis Redden's going to be having a trip down there to go shoot some fish down in Kentucky. I mean, and that's just half the list. We have so many awesome sponsors.
We've got the WBA, the Wisconsin Bowfishing Association, send up a Mud Dog is one of our big fish categories that we'll get into later on. Grins and Fins Bowfishing donated a butterfly carp trip.
That is so cool. And that just happened here in the last week or so that Travis called you up and said, hey, let's do it.
Yep. We've got G5, Bowfishing Extreme, Fox Pro, Scent Thief, Brody's Baits, Arrow LED, Havilon Knives, Hunt Chef, Dead End Game Calls, Raptor Razor, Deer 30, and of course, Randy Parker's famous driftwood trophies for the big fish and the lightest fish category.
Yep. That'll be so cool.
Yep. So great list of prizes that we're going to have here. In fact, that Umarex is actually a 50 cal.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yes.
Wow, that's very cool.
Yeah. So how cool is that?
Yeah, that's awesome. If nothing else, come back to weigh-ins, guys.
Yeah.
Because we got all kinds of goodies that we're going to be giving away.
And just looking at these sponsors here, one thing that is awesome is this is our 13th annual AMS Big 20.
Yep.
Matthews has been with us since day one.
Yeah, very cool.
Oneida has been with us since day one. So Interlock has been with us for day one. Corey Brossman is huge.
Yeah.
Helps us out every year with a ton of prizes. So you look at like Matthews and Oneida to be with us for those 13 years, and then also Randy Parker for 13 years has been making those driftwood trophies for all of our tournaments.
Yeah.
So that's just really cool to see that.
Yeah.
And like I said, if you have one of those driftwood trophies from Randy, them are pretty special.
Oh yeah,
special trophies.
So cool, cool. And that 13th annual, Matt, not to make yourself feel old or anything, but when you guys had that first AMS Big 20, I was in 6th grade. Oh, just a wee little feller.
I believe in 2011 we had that in Brandenburg, Kentucky.
Brandenburg, okay.
And I think that year we had 47 boats.
Oh wow, that's pretty good for your first year. I mean, that's a good amount of boats 47
down there. Boats, and we were so fresh into that, we didn't know what to expect
Sure.
or anything. And then to have to haul all your stuff, you know,
I can't.
10 hours away and to take your employees there. And that's when we used to grill our own food and all that. So we took grills and we took all our hamburgers down there and the cheese curds and the brats and, you know, just.
I can't imagine. I know how much work it is now. I mean, obviously you're running around. We're all going crazy this week, getting everything ready. I can't imagine having it in a different state with all the stuff you'd have to haul down there.
We just take 2 vehicles and 2 big trailers and haul everything down there.
Wow.
It was awesome. The people in Brandenburg were just special. The mayor was awesome to work with. He just loved us. Yeah, we would go on to a little radio station there and stuff. And
That's neat. Yeah.
And the town really embraced us down there, but it was just so hard for us to hold these tournaments when they were getting bigger and bigger.
Oh, sure.
And traveling that far out of state that we just had to bring it back to our home state. Even Toma was a great location at the fairgrounds when we brought it back to Wisconsin here. But even that, traveling with all that stuff, and if you forget something, oh my gosh, you know, and motel fees for all the employees and food and stuff. It was just a lot of work. Then, of course, we moved it to Marshfield there, you know, and that was 10 miles away, and it was awesome. But even then, we're loading up all the trailers and loading everything up and then taking it over there. And then when it's done, cleaning everything up and bringing it all back home and then unloading it all again. So, like you said, it was a blessing in disguise.
It was. It really was. It really was.
When we actually moved it here to the AMS shop.
Yeah. Yep. I could not agree more here, Matt. I'll tell you what. Let's. You want to just give a little bit of a rundown on the schedule of events for this weekend, Matt? And
these are very important because we are on a time frame here from the start to the finish,
and it's a little bit different than it was last year too.
Right. So we're on a time frame here. So registration starts at noon. Okay. So the boats can start coming in. We're going to start registering your teams at noon on Saturday, May 18th. All boats we would like to have registered by 4 p.m.
Yep.
Okay. That's very important because we have a schedule, like I said, that we're following. Mandatory meeting. All participants must come to the mandatory meeting at 5 p.m. And then that's going to be followed by door prizes.
Yep.
All right. And like I said, we've got a bunch of door prizes, so have your tickets ready. You're going to get them in your packets. When you register, you're going to get your information here, your shirts if you got the shirts, if you ordered them in time, and your tickets. So you come there with your tickets because when I start reading them, we're going to go fast because we need to get these done and out of the way.
Yep.
After that, we have the Bowfisherman's Prayer. We have the national anthem. And then all teams head to their vehicles for the 6 o'clock takeoff.
Yes.
And everything from that noon to 6 o'clock is very important because we have the Stratford Police ready to rock and roll at noon at the stop and go lights to let everybody out of here.
Yeah, at 6 o'clock.
At
when
6
they
o'clock,
leave.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's when, like I said, last year we had everybody out of here at 9 o'clock. You know, it was awesome. Or at 9 o'clock. In 9 minutes, I'm sorry.
Okay, I was going to say, Yep.
Last year we had everybody out of here in 9 minutes.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's why it's very important to get here, you know, on those times and get registered because we have a schedule that we're following.
Yes.
Like I said, come here hungry. We got 2 food trucks. We got the barbecue.
Food.
We got the Razor J's, old-fashioned burgers, cheese curds, lemonade.
Yeah.
Barbecue plates, mac and cheese.
Yep.
All kinds of goodies.
Yeah.
Kettle corn.
Oh, yeah. Can't beat it.
No.
Can't beat it. So, and I think something else here too, Matt, if you've been shooting the tournament, you're familiar with it since we had to move it here. But your number, your registration number is going to depend. That will determine what pod you are in.
Exactly.
All right. We have pods A, B, C, and D. Pod A is boats 1 through 20.
Yep.
B is 21 through 40. C is 41 through 60. D is 61 through 80. If we go above 80, we have overflow. It's not necessarily a pod. It's just the overflow pod.
Yep.
So that's how you will be parked. And refresh my memory, Matt, we have an order of like the first 10 boats that will leave.
First 20 will leave.
The first 20.
In their positions.
In their correct order. Because we want to reward that early registration.
Right.
We got to let those guys who registered first, by all means, they deserve it. They get to go first.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then after that, you're just going to go, say you're in pod C. You're just going to park, you're just going to pull up to the next boat in that pod area.
Yes. Yep.
And like I said, we had everybody out of here in 9 minutes last year. It's not like you're going to be sitting there for 30 minutes waiting to get out.
Yep.
The village of Stratford is small. There's one stop and go light here.
Right.
And it gets you out onto the, down the road. You'll be on the interstate if you're taking interstates and, a couple 25 minutes or so.
And like you said, with the police having everything blocked off, it's not like you're going to pull out onto 153 here and have to wait for other traffic. You're going to be able to zip right behind the next boat that was in front of you, and off you go.
Yep. Now, one thing that I'm going to point out, a little helpful tip here. Is if you are heading maybe down to the Mississippi River area, you might want to check highway construction right now.
Yep. Good thing to point out.
Just a little note out there. There is some road construction on Highway 80 and 173 that you might want to check out that kind of head down that direction. So just take a look at that, because like I said, there's time restraints here, especially on weigh-in day. And stuff,
absolutely. One other thing here, Matt, I'm not sure if we've got it anywhere in here, but I'm gonna mention it now. As everybody knows, when you come here, before you'd have to sign a waiver before you'd be registered.
Yes.
All right. So we've changed this up a little bit this year because we're all about making it as easy for you guys and as easy for us, a nice, smooth flow.
Right.
What we're doing this year, last night, I sent out an email to all of the AMS Big 20 team captains. All right. You had to put that email into a list when you registered. I sent an email explaining what we're going to be doing with that waiver.
Yep.
Over the next, let's see here, Wednesday today, over the next 48 hours-ish, a lot of them are going to be going out today. You are going to be receiving a text message. Captains will be receiving a text message with a link to sign that waiver.
Right.
You will need to forward that text to all of your team members so that they can sign it. When you have signed it, you will hit a finish button, and then that will be submitted straight to us, and we will have it. The program we're using is called DocuSign.
Yes.
So if you get a strange text from someone claiming to be AMS Bowfishing, it is us.
Right.
We're just wanting to, instead of having to have you guys manually fill it out, pen and paper here at the event, to hurry it up, because as soon as you hit finish, boom, it's in our system.
We get it.
We got it. It's here.
Yes.
So just be on the lookout for that. Team captains, you'll be receiving a text here today, and just make sure to forward that to all your team members. We ask that is completed by Friday. The end of the day, Friday, the day before the event. So just a little heads up there. We're going to change it up a little bit. If you can't do it or you don't understand it, we will have waivers here for you to sign. We'll be able to take care of you, no problem. But it would just help expedite your check-in process as well as our paperwork aspect of things.
And to me, that's just another thing of how we are growing with the tournament and trying to make things as simple as possible for you guys when you come to register, and to make things just simple. Like I said, the AMS Big 20, we got her down pat. And we've got it down pat, baby.
We do.
And we're just trying to make it even better with something like this here to get you guys rolling through here.
Yep. Always looking to improve. Yep. And I mean, again, too, this year, just so everybody knows, no boat inspections.
Right.
All right. So that's why it's not I think we started at 11 or 10 last year registration because you'd have to go through boat inspection.
Right.
No boat inspections this year. So just so everybody knows.
And when I had somebody say, well, why not? Well, you should really be responsible for your own boat and have all the stuff that you need in there to be safe on the water.
Yes.
So you don't get a fine by the DNR on the water. It's your responsibility for that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Moving
on to some highlight on some of the rules here, Schmitty.
Yeah.
So make sure that you do go read through all of the rules. I'm just going to highlight a few of the ones that are a little bit bigger here. Wisconsin only, Schmitty.
Yes, obviously, yes.
You cannot put in on a private boat landing. The boat landing that you use must be available to anybody in the public to use.
Yep.
So you can't put in off of a ditch or anything like that there. If you are shooting the Mississippi River, you cannot go past the train tracks on the Minnesota and Iowa side.
Yep.
There's a train track that runs all the way along down the Mississippi River there.
Yep.
And you can't go past it on the Minnesota and Iowa side. And you must also obey the Minnesota and Iowa bow fishing regulations and stuff like that.
Yep. Very important. Very important. We've had this for the last couple of years here, but there's a 10 fish limit on buffs.
Right.
Smallmouth or bigmouth, you can only weigh in 10.
Yes.
So when you pull up here, we will be counting your buffs. If you're weighing buffs, we are going to go, all right, put your buffs in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Weigh that barrel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. Cut off. No more buffs. So just so everybody knows that as well. So.
Yep. Plugging fish, Schmitty.
Yep. That's always something that we get asked about.
People are wondering, can they plug fish? Absolutely, you can plug fish. But when you are weighing those fish, you must remove those plugs. So what happens is they don't want to lose eggs or stuff like that.
Yep, understandable.
And because eggs are part of the weight of those fish.
Yep.
So they'll plug those fish. And this has worked so well. The teams have done just an amazing job with this at weigh-ins.
Yep.
they'll say, oh, here's a plugged fish, and they'll bring that fish, they'll put it over top of the barrel that they're going to be dumping that fish into to weigh in, and they'll just simply pull that plug out and drop the fish in. Yep. It's simple. It's easy. If you are doing that, you guys all are doing a great job of that already, but yes, you are allowed to plug fish.
Yep. Absolutely. And we will be, the people on the scales, I'll be on a scale myself. We're always looking for those as well.
Yes.
So we're going to be looking those fish over, and if you've got a plug in there, that will need to be removed before we weigh that fish.
Absolutely. Yep.
So
speaking of that, Derek, so, oh gosh, this is years ago. I was shooting in the Great Lakes Bowfishing Championship with Pat Johnson.
Okay.
We weren't plugging fish or nothing like that there. So we come back to, it's a 2-day tournament, so you're weighing as many fish as you can, all the fish.
Holy moly.
It's not like a big 20, or it's as many fish as you can shoot, okay?
And it's a 2-day tournament?
Yeah. It's during the daytime, which is kind of cool.
Wow.
But I remember coming through weigh-ins there and putting our fish into the guys' barrels, and they were weighing them and stuff. And I says, gosh, Pat, I says, look at all the eggs in the bottom of these barrels. There's, we probably lost 20 pounds. And the guy goes, scoop them up and put them in the barrel.
Oh, my goodness, really?
So he allowed us to scoop up our eggs and put them into the weigh-in barrels.
Oh, my God. Pray tell, how did you scoop them up?
Well, we either tipped the barrel and dumped them in there, or we tried to scoop them up.
With just a bunch of hands.
Well, hell yeah, you're trying to get as much weight as you can, So we're sitting there scooping them up with their hands.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Yeah, but we're not going to do that here in the Big 20.
No,
you can plug them and remove the plug when you lift them over the barrel. It's going to be weighed.
Gotcha. I think Pat Johnson could have been a youth football coach of mine.
Yes, he was.
Okay, then that solves it. Gotcha. Okay. Just so everyone knows, no catfish will be allowed to weigh in.
Right.
Not going to weigh catfish.
Yep. Now, legally, you can shoot them here in the state of Wisconsin. If you want to shoot a catfish and put it in your freezer so you can flay it later on and eat it, by all means, go ahead.
Yes.
But no catfish will be allowed to weigh in, and no catfish are allowed to be put into the dumpsters.
Yes. Yep. Good side note there. Good side note there.
Yep.
So another one here, Matt, we've got to prevent the spread of aquatic species and disease, the Wisconsin law requires that you drain all the water from your boat while transporting on highways. No barrels of fish may return to the Stratford Industrial Park on water or ice.
Right. Yep. And, what you can do is you can put a blanket over top of them, but you can't dump ice on top of your fish. You can't, get here to Stratford, run into the gas station, get a couple 20-pound bags of ice, and dump them on your fish. Right. You can't do that because what's going to happen to that ice?
Yeah, it's going to turn into water.
It's going to turn into water, and I can't tell if you brought that from a lake that you were shooting on to here.
Yep.
So you cannot return to the industrial park with your fish on barrels of water. You can't have that in there. That's a big no-no. You can't do that, and it's a Wisconsin law, actually. I know even for fishing, we got to take the water out of our live wells when we're transferring fish on the highways and stuff like that there also.
Yep.
So when you register, you're given 2 tokens, Schmitty, your team number.
Yep. Little cow tags.
They call them carp tags.
Carp tags.
Yeah, carp tags. But you must be back to weigh in and have handed your token to the gatekeeper by 8 a.m.
8 a.m. Burn that into your brains, guys.
8:10, you're DQ'd.
Yep, you're done for.
You're DQ'd.
Yep.
All right. So, and we've never had a problem with that. It's always worked out really good. People message me saying, hey, we're not going to make it and whatnot. So, another thing is, Schmitty, and we will ask this at registration, no alcohol.
Yeah.
No alcohol in the Stratford Industrial Park. Even when you come back to weigh-in on Sunday morning, if we see a beer can in your boat, you're disqualified.
Yep.
All right. So no alcohol, no drugs permitted during the tournament hours.
Yes. Yep. Another thing here, Matt, if your team forfeits or will not be coming back to weigh-in, they must text Matt their team number. All teams need to be accounted for after the tournament.
Right.
That's a big one.
Right.
That's a big one.
And that's why it's really critical that we get emergency contact numbers also.
Yes.
And it's really great. I get up and I throw it the whole night. Usually around 2 or 3 a.m. I start getting.
Sure. Yeah.
And all somebody got to say is Team 32 not coming back.
Yep.
Team 29 not coming back.
Just got to let us know.
Yes.
Or we'll be making some phone calls.
Right.
Yep. We just talked about those new waivers there, Matt. Everybody's kind of got the gist on that. Tell us a little bit about the culling areas and what some of these fish are going to be going towards.
So you got that long road down here, Schmitty, that all the teams are going to be culling their fish on.
Yep.
That's where we're going to have the dumpsters. And George and Kara Willett want all of the carp. All right, so they're going to have their There are manure spreaders down there. They're going to have trailers down there, and they want to take all the carp to take to their farms. Okay. Now we did get an extra 20-yard dumpster from Harder's just as a backup, and that dumpster is going to be the furthest one up the road from where you get into line to weigh in your fish.
Yep.
That's a backup.
Yes.
So please use the ones before you get to that area there. We don't want to have to pay for that. We don't want to pay if it's half full.
Right.
So the 20-yard dumpster that's up there from Harder's is a backup. We'll have a sign on there as well. Mm-hmm. But it's great that Willets want all of these carp. They're going to have a big dump truck up here. By the weigh-ins, we're going to be putting the fish so they can take them back to their farms. Yep. So, and a couple other trailers up here also. So really cool deal that George and Kara Willett want those fish to be used for fertilizer.
Yeah, and that's awesome. And like what you said there, Matt, with those dumpsters that we're going to have, what we don't want to have happen is have one of those dumpsters down there be half full, and then we go down there after the tournament, and here there's 2 teams worth of culled fish in the other dumpster.
Right.
Because it doesn't matter if there's 3 fish in it or 300 fish. It's got to get dumped. That qualifies as it being used.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. Well, we've got some exciting stuff here, Matt. You want to run through some of these big fish categories?
Big fish categories. All right. We've got the heaviest common carp is going to win an osprey donated by Oneida.
Oh, heck yeah. That's a heck of a prize. That's awesome.
Yep.
Very cool.
Moving on with the heaviest buff is going to win a megamouth reel donated by Megamouth Bowfishing.
Hey, let's go. Very cool. Very nice.
Heaviest gar is going to win a PSC Mud Dog bow donated by the Wisconsin Bowfishing Association.
Yes, very nice of them to donate that bow. Very cool.
Heaviest drum is going to win a Shorty Vader bow donated by Vader Bowfishing.
Cool.
Heaviest dogfish wins some efficiency bowfishing lights donated by Outdoor Innovations USA. And then the heaviest quillback or carp sucker is going to win the Ringo bow donated by AMS Bowfishing.
Awesome. Those are some awesome prizes. Every one of those is a big prize.
Yes.
That's very cool. Very cool.
And these have been very popular because, like a quillback, you might not be weighing that for your big 20 weights or your dogfish or your drum or your gar, but it might win you a nice prize.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
It might win you a nice prize.
Yeah. Yep. That's very cool. Very cool. Matt, the big fish pot, as of right now, is sitting at $1,980.
Boy.
That's going to be over $2,000 once we get all these rest of these teams in
there.
That's a heck of a little side pot for some big fish. I love to see that.
Right. Here's the kicker when you talk about the big fish. Okay, so that's the overall heaviest fish weighed during the tournament.
Yeah. Yep.
So say that happens to be a common carp.
I know what you're going to say. Yeah.
Not only are you going to win the money, which is going to be over $2,000, you're going to win an Oneida bow, an osprey bow, and you're going to win Randy Parker's Big Fish Trophy also.
It's a 3-banger. Boom, boom,
boom.
Boom,
boom, boom.
Bing, bang, boom. 3 prizes because of 1 fish.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's pretty slick.
Take that to Barreltown.
Yeah, take that to Barreltown.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Or it might be a buff. Who knows? But you get my point there. You're going to win.
You could win all kinds
of
stuff.
Some nice cha-ching.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Jeez.
Absolutely.
Righty.
Yeah. So, that kind of covers our big 20. A little bit of just everything we wanted to cover there.
Food trucks coming. Like I said, come here hungry. It's going to be a great time.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great time. So.
Get ready for Fish That You Wish.
This week's fish comes to us out of the great state known for growing giant potatoes. So why not giant fish, Smitty? Give it up for the beautiful state of Idaho. And out of the red corner stands the lucky bowfisher with the name of Brian Pokorny.
Oh, amazing last name.
Shot on July 23rd, 2011, is a beast of a common carp, tipping the scales at an incredible weight of 67 pounds, 6 ounces.
Holy cow. 67 pounds? That is a tank. Oh, my gosh. Wow.
Oh, boy. And that right there is a fish you wish you shot.
Good Lord. Wow. Wow. That is a tank right there. Side note, you could be an announcer for fights. That was amazing. That was pretty good.
I like doing that. I kind of got all jacked up.
Yep.
I actually got into the mode on. I got into the mood of that when I was doing that.
Yep. The weight, when you said the weight, that was I was like watching a MMA fight there. That was pretty sweet.
Oh, boy, Schmitty. Well,
we got lots to do today, Matt.
That's going to wrap up our bonus episode here on the Bowfishing Buzz. Presented by AMS Bowfishing and Megamoth Bowfishing, and
sponsored by N Designs Leather and Embroidery and Efficiency Bowfishing Lights by Outdoor Innovations USA.
What a great week this is here.
Best week of the year, honestly.
To everybody out there scouting and shooting in this weekend's tournament, we can't wait to see you. Be safe on the water. Be safe on the roads. Have a good time. Remember to go on social media and tell everybody where you're finding your fish.
Yes, obviously. That's a huge ticket.
Yeah, absolutely. We wish everybody the best of luck. We can't wait to see you here for the AMS Big 20, the 13th annual AMS Big 20.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We're going to have all kinds of goodies to be giving away. The old Donald Trump flags from N Designs.
Yep.
Bunch of hats, shirts, all kinds of good stuff, Schmitty.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. So from all of us here at AMS Bowfishing, we wish you the best of luck. And remember, aim low
and think big. Thanks for listening, guys.